these are all the books I've gotten over the past 3 months. I mainly just wanted to fill up my shelves, but I think I went a little overboard, if I'm being honest. Let's start with my new books that just came in the mail because those are the most exciting. This package is actually a little better in terms of physical TBR because I got Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I already read on the Kindle, so no harm, no foul, you know? I just really love this, and I really wanted a physical copy. Honestly, for some reason I expected it to be like massive, but it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Look at how gorgeous that is. If you don't know, Serpent and the Wings of Night is one of those books where a bunch of people, in this case mainly vampires, all compete in like a fight to the death in order to win this competition called the Kajari, and the person who wins gets one wish granted. And they also are like super well respected for being like the strongest warrior around. This is like a vampire romantasy. So good. I highly recommend this. I'll put this here. I messed up a bit, and somewhere in these stacks is Throne of Glass, but I also just got Crown of Midnight and Air of Fire. So this is one I haven't read yet, but I'm super excited. And it is another romantasy from Sarah J. Maas, which I loved A Court of Thorns and Roses, so. Next we have my next installment of Book of the Month. This is my March package. That is what month it is. This is the most books I've gotten in Book of the Month so far. I went a little overboard, and I'm scared for myself. So the book I got for like my March book was A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen. Another romantasy. I really like romantasy. I really like fantasy. So this is a bit of like forced marriage. Another, female main character who is an absolute beast in like a warrior sense. Another fight to the death with who I am pretty sure is the guy who she is going to fall in love with. And a lot of magic. I'm really excited for this. And isn't it gorgeous? Okay. Next we have Wayward by Amelia Hart. This was a 2023 Goodreads Choice Awards winner. It won the historical fiction and the debut novel categories, so. Okay, so this takes place in 2019, 1619, and 1942, weaving the stories of three extraordinary women across 5 centuries. What? Okay. Next we have None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Also heard great things. This one is about these 2 women who meet and they happen to share the same birthday, and one has a podcast and she, for her podcast, like just follows people around. So she has the great idea of featuring this woman she met on her podcast and tells like the changes in her life which end up being very strange and complex. This is like psychological thriller mystery vibes situation. And then my last book of the month book for March is Butcher and Blackbird, which I am very excited about. I love serial killer romances, and that's exactly what this is. If you can't tell, got some axes and chainsaws and all sorts of murderous things. But I think both of our characters in this, both of our serial killer main characters in this, they kill other serial killers, so they're like good serial killers, And they fall in love. And I've heard it's pretty gruesome and pretty spicy, and it is a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. Very dark romantic comedy. And I'm very excited. Guys, I think I bought way too many Book of the Month books. I only buy the ones that are cheaper from Book of the Month compared to Amazon, so. And the bookmark. Let's get to the bottom of this. And then I'm gonna go starting with my newest books and going back to the oldest books in terms of this 3-month time span of me buying books. So we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I am simultaneously very excited about this and very scared. I have heard some interesting things in terms of the werewolf smut this has. A little worried about that. Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. But yeah, this is Ali Hazelwood's first like paranormal romance. This has like the Omega verse in it, which is some weird like werewolf thing where you have like alpha wolves, beta wolves, and omega wolves. I read a little bit about it. I'm very confused. I'm very scared. I'm also intrigued. Okay, then I got Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Part of the reason I got this is because the second book in this like series, I mean, you can read them out of order, but the second book just went on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm gonna read that after I read this. This is a romance between a ER doctor and a hot carpenter. And, you know, the ER doctor, I assume her parents are not going to approve of her dating a carpenter. Her parents are ultra wealthy and want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons. So I think we'll see a little bit of that tension, family tension in this. So cute. I love this cover too. my growing stack here. I'm gonna have to take that down soon. Ooh. Okay. This one, Under Your Spell by Laura Wood. This is one of the books I got from a Goodreads giveaway that I entered, which it's so exciting to win a giveaway. I'm actually really interested in this one. This is a romance about a daughter of an aging rock star who has sworn that she's never going to date a celebrity. She finds herself working for the hottest musician on the planet. And so, you know, she ends up breaking her like rule to never date a celebrity or fall in love with a celebrity is the vibe. Is pretty obvious based on the summary. But yeah. And this book comes out in end of June 2024. June 25th. We have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've read Beach Read by Emily Henry and I absolutely loved it. And I've heard really great things about Happy Place, so I'm super excited. This is about Harry and Wynn, who are in the same friend group, and they've had the best relationship. They were the perfect couple. And then all of a sudden, well, no, I don't know, I guess maybe not all of a sudden, but they broke up 5 months back and haven't told their best friends yet. So there's fake dating in this, you know, as they go to this little summer cottage with their friends again, like their annual tradition. And they try to get through it without telling their friends that they actually broke up. And if they don't end up back together at the end, I will be very shocked. Okay. Next we have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This was the Goodreads Best Choice Award for Fiction. So you got a Asian writer and a white writer, both women. And the white one is jealous of the Asian because the Asian's like, you know, a good writer and like well respected and well known. But then the Asian suddenly dies, and this white girl that we follow throughout this book decides to finish like a manuscript that she had and publish it as her own. You watch our female main character make a bunch of really bad decisions and just be a generally awful person. So it should be good. Then we got The Fury. This was another book of the month book that I got from February, I believe. Oh, January. It is like the classic murder mystery. Bunch of folks are invited to this remote island for a little getaway and someone gets murdered. Okay. Then we have another romantasy. My favorite, I love. We have Heartless Hunter, and this was the February book of the month book that I got. And this follows a vampire and a vampire hunter. The vampire hunter doesn't know that she's a vampire, and they fall in love, and there's kind of like suspicion between them. A little bit of secret identity, romantasy, vampires, vampire hunters, you know. Honestly, a lot of great stuff a lot of good things in that book that I think could make it really good. Then we have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. This, mother, wife who is a chemist. So kind of just like a story about a woman in STEM in the 60s. Okay. Then we have a thriller. Very excited about this. This was also a January book of the month pick. First Lie Wins. And this one is about this woman who, like, for work, she pretends to be other people. And I guess this time, while she's pretending to be someone else, someone is also pretending to be her. So that is a little spooky. Next we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is actually a book that I picked for my March TBR, so I'm very excited to get into it soon. And can we just take a moment? Look at how absolutely beautiful it is. This is the most fun book I have. So cool. So pretty. This is about a woman who made a deal with basically the devil, I guess, where she lives forever. She's immortal, but nobody remembers her. So she kind of passes through life like she's invisible. And it spans like 300 years or something. Then we have In the Lives of Puppets by T.L. Clune. This I've heard, I think this is the one I heard where if you're squeamish about bugs, you should be warned. I believe this won the Science Fiction Goodreads Choice Award, and it is about robots, I believe. That is the science fiction-y aspect that we get. Yeah, so we have this family with the mechanic and his little robots who live in the forest all nice and homely and comfy all together. And then they're forced to go like into the city and face a lot of difficult times there. I'm a little intimidated by this. I don't think this will be like the easiest read. Alrighty, next, are you ready for this? Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, and finally, Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. If I don't absolutely love these books, okay, if I don't like this series, this is a very unfortunate purchase of 5 books. I also ordered them from the UK. If you couldn't tell, I don't live in the UK. This is the UK version. I'm like torn between wanting to read all of these books all at once, like right in a row, but I know that would kill me, and I feel like I shouldn't do that. I feel like I should do like 1 book a month, you know? If you have thoughts, let me know. I feel like that's what I should do. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? She's beautiful, self-involved, and mildly neurotic. He is Britain's most photographed bad boy who broke her heart. But Magnolia Parks and B.J. Ballantyne are meant to be, aren't they? I don't know, honestly. But I can't wait to find out. Next we have Fourth Wing, special edition, the Christmas edition, I think, or holiday edition. Fly or Die. This is a romantasy featuring dragons, and I am very excited. I've heard great things, though I have heard the second book isn't as good, is disappointing. I've heard the second book is disappointing, so I'm a little worried. I am holding off on buying the next one in the series until I read this, or I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try my very best. They're in a dragon rider school. If I didn't mention, there's like wars going on. I actually did read a few chapters already. Next we have Caraval and Finale and Legendary. I got this in a box set, that's why they're all together. I mainly got it because I'm gonna try my best to read this before I read Once Upon a Broken Heart. Not gonna lie, I'm more interested in reading Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I do want to read this too, so I'm gonna read it first. If you couldn't tell, this is about kind of like a circus situation. There are these two sisters, and at the circus, her sister is like taken in the circus, and the point of the circus is for everyone to like compete and find her, I believe. Yeah, whoever finds her first is the winner. Her sister is not too happy about that situation. That is not what you want when you go to the circus. Like, excuse me. Excited for this. I don't know when I'll get to it. I have too many books. I don't know why I did this to myself. Okay. Next we have Six of Crows and The Crooked Kingdom. I'm very excited about this. I have heard of so many books from Leah Bardugo that I am so interested in. I also want to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which, guys, I'm a little worried because I think I have to read Shadow and Bone first. And like, I keep doing this. I keep finding books I want to read, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I need to read this other series first. And then like my TBR just like grows exponentially. Anyways, this is about a group of like bandits, criminals. They get together in order to perform a heist. Yes. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. I love heists. Not quite serial killers, but it is something. Ooh, then we have another Goodreads giveaway that I won, The House in the Pines. This is a thriller. I think maybe it's like supposed to be a mystery thriller. It's basically about, so this girl, Maya, she witnesses her friend like die in front of this dude, Frank, that they spent time with over the summer. And then a few years later, she sees like a YouTube video where a girl dies in the same way, also right in front of Frank. And that's suspicious. So, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard great things, but it is from Reese's book club. So, I get to join in on telling if Reese did a good job or a bad job picking this. I've heard her thriller picks aren't the best. Okay. Next we have Babel by R.F. Kuang. I think I'm going to read Yellowface first. I did buy this one first, but it's just how, you know, the dice they rolled, you know. But Babel, as you might guess, is kind of similar to the idea of the Tower of Babel, and the magic is based in like languages. Like if you say things, the way things like connect in different languages allows you to perform magic, in a sense. I haven't read it. That's just what I've gleaned. I'm only minorly intimidated. Ooh. Found Throne of Glass. Then we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I'm actually torn. I actually don't know if I want to read Check and Mate first or Bride first. But if you couldn't tell, and if you haven't heard, Check and Mate is about these chess players, and it is a chess player romance. More classic to Ali Hazelwood. You got your like YA romance about, you know, this like intellectual woman. Next we have another series. We have the Inheritance Games and the Hawthorne Legacy and the Final Gambit. Final Gambit. Got a trilogy here by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I've heard great things about this one. This is, if you couldn't tell, about a series of games. $46.2 billion, I guess, is what you win if you win these games. This wealthy man, Hawthorne, his inheritance is, you know, all that money. And for some reason, it's offered to this woman, but this girl, but she has to like win the games to get to the inheritance. And everyone in his family is like, what the heck, man? Where did you come from? You should not be getting any of the inheritance. Got a lot of riddles and all that kind of good stuff going on in this. Okay. Now, we've gotten into the horror. We have The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I did actually watch the Netflix series of this, and it was pretty good, not gonna lie. My boyfriend forced me to watch it, but I did enjoy it. It was a little spooky, a little thrilling, but I got through it, and I'm glad I did. And this is like very short. This is 180 pages, I'm sure I could fly through this, though I guess that kind of depends on how spooky it is. What? We have Dune, which I really want to read these before I read the second. I want to read these before I watch the second movie. I have watched the first one. I kind of forget what happens. I remember the vibes. Yeah, I want to read these two before I get to the second movie. And I have time because I'm gonna, wait until my boyfriend's ready to watch it, and he is super busy right now, so that will probably be not for a while. This is about a desert planet. A desert planet that's struggling, basically. That's what I got. And I have all of the books. So I've heard good things though, and we have, the movies, so though I think the movies are only going to be about like the trilogy, and I've also heard that it gets a lot darker after the first 3 books, so, and that's probably why they're not gonna, film it, because I've heard it's a little questionable. Okay, then we have Christine by Stephen King. We are into the Stephen King portion of today's video. I did just read Misery and I absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to get into the rest of Stephen King's backlog. Alright. Seems like a little bit of a romance in here, in a sense. It's definitely not a romance, but there's a couple. They uncover the truth about this car with a horrifying and murderous history. Camera died for a second, but we're back. Next we have Needful Things. So I got a lot of these Stephen King books from my friend for Christmas, and so I actually don't know what a lot of these books are about. That's why I'm like, not sure what this is. Definitely looks like horror. Okay, so I guess this is about a little shop, which it seems like residents of this place in Maine buy little trinkets at the shop, and but the main thing that they're buying is maybe a kind of evil request, and it says, "The devil's in the details. Let the buyers beware." So, make a request maybe against someone else in the neighborhood that you don't like too much, and then it comes back to bite you because you weren't specific enough and instead you are tortured. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, gosh. Okay. This one my boyfriend got. I am terrified of this book. There's a movie made about it. This creepy clown. Oh, it's so long. It is 1,153 pages. Because it absolutely terrifies me. This is gonna be the last Stephen King book I read. I'll tell you that. Unless, I lose a bet or something. Next, we have The Regulators. It got a little cowboy hat on it. It makes it look kind of innocent. I don't know. Not that intimidating. Life is pleasant, and then all of a sudden, everything ends in gunfire and violence. Tranquil times are over. And there's an autistic boy in it. Oh, he's possessed. He's possessed by an otherworldly evil and turns murderous and sadistic. Well, that sounds fun. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Then we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. A voyeuristic page-turner. I guess it's basically about this woman who watches drama unfold across the lake. And I think I know the twist. Well, yeah, because, while my friend was reading it, we were, on vacation together, and, she was kind of just saying all the twists, and I kind of remember them, so. Oh, the wife is drowning across the lake, and then she saves her. Then we have another Riley Sager. We have The Only One Left. Oh, and this was also from my friend. She gave me a lot of books, okay? A lot. Gothic chiller about a young caregiver assigned to work for a woman accused of a Lizzie Borden-like massacre decades earlier. Okay. I feel like this kind of gives, The Housemaid vibes, in a sense. A woman being a nanny for a potential murderer. That's fun. Okay. Then we have Stephen King again. Billy Summers. I think this is the Stephen King book I am the most excited to read. A thrilling new novel about a guy with a streak of good and a bad job. Oh, right. This is coming back to me. So this is about Billy Summers, who is a killer for hire and the best in a business. But he is ready to move on. Doesn't really want to do this killing thing anymore. But he gets a job he can't refuse. Or maybe not he can't refuse. It's just like, he's like, this is going to be my last job. And it is a lot more than he bargains for. It probably should have ended it before that job, you know? We have a bunch of little Stephen King books here. So we have Salem's Lot, about a haunted old mansion. It's about another writer. I just read Misery, which is about a writer. And this is about a writer who hopes that living in a mansion will help cast out his demons and provide inspiration for a new book. But there is something sinister at work, of course. I mean, come on, look at the cover. Okay, and then we have The Night Shift, 20 Tales. Okay, so this is just a lot of a lot of very short stories. 20 tales, 500 pages. Mutated rats gone bad, cataclysmic virus that threatens humanity, a smoker who will try anything to stop, reclusive alcoholic who begins a gruesome transformation, and many more. I feel like this might be like a fun, easy read. Just like casually read a story here and there. I also got Misery recently, so I included it in here. What I'll say about Stephen King is he is a very good writer, obviously. But like his writing style is so descriptive. Like, you do not know descriptive writing until you read Stephen King. Like, I didn't even know it was possible to be this descriptive without like being annoying. Like, you know, you read about like, you know, oh, like the world building in fantasy books, like, or like the book is kind of annoying to read because it's so descriptive and it like brings like away from the plot and you're like, let me just get back to the story, stop describing the setting. But Stephen King does it well. Like, he describes absolutely everything and it's like it fits seamlessly into the story, and I really like that about Misery. And I am sure his other books are similar because he wrote this in like 87, so 40 years ago almost. Oh my gosh, look at how young he is there. Crazy. I don't know what this one's about. Oh, this is another book about, well, another book that's set in Maine, which Needful Things was also set in Maine. I have no idea what this book is about. I'm sorry. Probably, I mean, there's handcuffs on the cover. Definitely horror. So, like all of Stephen King's books. Okay. Ugh. We got our last 3 books. Thank you for making it this far, if you're still here. Okay, I was wrong. You know, I said it was the longest book. These are the longest books that I own. But they are like the small little versions, the mass market paperbacks. I mean, there's a lot of words on these pages. Like, you could definitely have a book where it's still like the same length. So we have Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings, book 1 of the Stormlight Archive, and then books 2 and 3. I gotta say, you know, I don't know if I love mass market paperbacks, but I don't hate them. Like, I kind of like this. Like, they open so easily, and you can just hold them. You can just hold them like just like this, and like it's really satisfying. Like, look at that. The pages feel so nice. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm getting a little too into this book right now. I love Brandon Sanderson. If you want to read like high fantasy, Brandon Sanderson, it seems like all of his books are about like gods in a sense. So if you're into that, definitely pick him up. I have loved everything I've read of his so far. I'm just obsessed. Obsessed. Okay, guys, that is it. Let me count them up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 57 books. And I'm gonna tell you, these are not all the books that I ordered. I ordered the UK versions of Once Upon a Broken Heart, And I also ordered Never by Jessa Hastings. Oh, and I ordered Powerless. I ordered like the Powerless version with the purple pages. The package with the Once Upon a Broken Heart, Powerless, and Never got like lost in the mail. And so it never got here after like a month. I ordered it like a month or two ago. And it hasn't gotten here yet, but they're sending replacements now. They will be here in the next month, probably. Hopefully. I'm very upset, but it's fine. I wasn't going to read them anytime soon anyways. I have plenty of books. I have too many books, actually. And I think I need to go on a book buying ban, if I'm being completely honest. You know, what started as, oh, I need some physical books because I don't have enough physical books that I want to read, very quickly turned into, oh, I have way too many physical books that I need to read, and I'm not reading them because I'm finding so many Kindle books and books from like Libby and Audible that I can read for free, and it's like, wow, it's so easy to just read them. But now I have a million books on my physical TBR that I need to finish, so I'm not like, you know, because I'm so excited about all of these. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we don't have another huge book haul like this for a long time. I am going to reorganize my bookshelf because it is in dire need of reorganizing. How many books are on your guys' physical TBR, and what have you guys been buying recently? Let me know down below. I'll see you guys later. Bye.